Some devils. J-Dawg back to answer some more goddamn questions. Before we get to the goddamn questions, just a quick show and tell. Hot off the fucking press. Just came in today, goddammits. An absolute metal must. Reissue on Hell's a fucking, of course. People have been asking about it since pretty much beginning of the channel. People are like, you're going to restock, you're going to repress, you're going to do. I think when we fucking signed off on this, from KK, I think it was around maybe right after I started the channel, somewhere around that time. But it finally came in as the goddamn CDs. That is, without a shadow of a doubt, the greatest metal fucking release to ever come out of goddamn Australia. That's right, I said it, goddammit. AC/DC, take a fucking hike. D666 sends you home on a stretcher. Nothing fancy if you got the original, pretty much a replica, so not a replica, but damn close. Look at that. Fits the fucking bill. Take notes, goddamn internal bozos. It's what a metal band looks like. Take notes, Jimmy. That's what real metal looks like. That's what we're talking about. All the other shit, the internal bozos, the epicardectomy, whatever the fuck that bullshit is, the vomit remnants, that's supplemental. That's supplemental metal. That's not goddamn mandatory goddamn metal. That's what you add on the goddamn side. This is a mandatory. Incomplete metal collection if you don't own this. What do they sound like, dog? I don't even need to explain it, bozo. You should already know it, and if you don't even need to check it out. Just fucking pick it the fuck up. We did blue discs and gold discs. I think that was what the band fucking wanted. That was their request. This is a blue one. And then there's discs that are all gold as well. Back. So if you don't own that, pretty much a poser in my goddamn book. So definitely go out and goddamn get it as far as I'm goddamn concerned. If not, that's fine too. Just continue being the poser. Listen to your goddamn YouTube and your twink core. Anyways, and it's exactly. Twink cores don't know that shit. That's real metal. Twink cores possibly do like the epicardectomonies and the fucking internal vag boys. Exactly. There you the fuck go. They don't like the almighty D666. There's not a single twink core out there that is a fanatical D666. Most of them haven't even heard of them. Hell, half these fucking, there's metal YouTube channels. No name mentioned. Never even heard of them. But they're giving out goddamn knowledge like they're a fucking metal authority. What? It's not even an obscure band, brah. That's an underground goddamn staple. Unbelievable. Get with the fucking program. We got some paid screwy questions, 3 total. This one came in yesterday, so go at the top, and then we got 2 others that came in today, goddammit. First, so this one came in from yesterday, Nathan Casabire. Casabire? That's how you pronounce it. What's up, J-Dawg? I want to know what you think the angriest bands are. Angriest, huh? Not talking down to chugga brutal bullshit. Oh, I get you, Angry. I hear you. I'm asking what bands do you think are the most violent and hateful sounding? Hails, brah. To be honest with you, I think the kings of hateful music would appear to me as hateful, and there's going to be some people that agree with this, and there's going to be a lot of people that disagree. But I always just took it because I actually felt like they was serious about what he sang about. Honestly, is Deicide. Like when you listen to the first, especially the first 4 albums, it just felt like Glenn was legitimately fucking angry what he sang about. You know, it's funny. I've always thought that as a goddamn kid. Always thought it. That was one of the huge appeals to me of why I liked it because the lyrics fits with what he was saying. Like, oh shit, it wasn't sound like he was just telling spooky stories. Like most bands are just kind of singing out of their ass. You know what I mean? Like, just we're singing about Satanism and shit. And for fuck's sakes, half of them 2 years later, goddamn going to church. I mean, for fuck's sakes. I mean, Massacre, they thank God in their lyrics. I remember Big D said he asked Cam Lee about that. Like, what's this? Why thank God in the lyrics? Oh, well, you know my girlfriend at the time. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's fucking true, but you would have, like, you had that. That wasn't true. Devourment thanks God in their lyrics. It's funny. It wasn't an Infernal Dominion. I think it was them. Fuck off. They have their fuck off list or no thanks list. Forget, I'd have to go back and look at it. But they just said in the fuck off, whatever. Any death metal band that thanks God, their guest list. I mean, their thanks list on their albums. I thought that I read that as a kid when I picked that album up, and I agreed. I was like, exactly. So there's, dude. I remember when I first saw that. I think the first band I saw might have been Devourment, Molesting the Decapitate. I'm like, what God? Like, why the fuck are you thinking that? Like, you should be anti fucking God. That's death metal, bro. And if you're not, you keep that shit on the DL. Like you don't sit there. You're in this brutal fucking band. These disgusting lyrics and shit. You're going to church and shit. It just looks stupid. I don't know, definitely doesn't fit the goddamn fucking bill. So Deicide, you felt like Glenn was actually serious about his shit, and it's funny because, like I said, I've always thought that as a goddamn kid, all in my adult years today, and then it's on YouTube. I saw it, which was one of the main people I wanted to get an interview with is Seth from Severe. He does drums in Severe Torture, but he was the original singer of Centurion. He said that in an interview too, that he thought Deicide, he liked it how hateful it was, and I think he said grave and hypocrisy. So you know how, you listen to the early grave and hypocrisy stuff. It was great and brutal. He's like, but it wasn't hateful. I knew exactly what he was talking. I thought I was the only one that thought that. I literally never heard another person say that prior to him. I'm like, it's what I've always thought, and that's why I thought just Deicide came off as more aggressive, like an album like Into the Grave, yes, I like it very much. But as far as intensity and just in your fucking face, Serpent of Light destroys it, in my opinion. And again, any of you fucking pussy boys gonna comment, Into the Grave, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I'm probably a bigger Into the Goddamn Grave fan than you by a fucking milestone. Just shut your bitch ass up. Tape on that mouth shut. I'm just saying, in comparison, aggressive, get in the mood to get you fucking amped up, just kick you in the nads, and just you feel like they really mean what they're saying. Serpents destroys it in that territory. It just honestly does. And I've always felt that way. And it's funny how when Seth said that too, because the second band that popped in my mind, both records behind me, the picture this, A Purest Fire demo and Corazonic Chaos Gods, that's what Seth sings on. I'm assuming that's where that he was inspired by that from Glenn Benton and brought that into Centurion. Although like Centurion musically and shit like that, it's more early Morbid Angel sounding ish, like musically what you'd say it's the influences are. But you could definitely hear the Deicide in there. But I think with his vocals, but that was the next band in line that I thought you could tell it felt hateful, and it was hilarious. It's almost like he translated that as an influence because he was thinking that. And it's funny, if I was to do a band, which I'm never going to and have no intention to, so Music Matters, stop asking. I don't know what your obsession is about me doing a goddamn band. I'm not doing it, bro. I don't have time, nor do I care, nor do I want to. Too many bands, not enough fans. But if I was to, I would. That's what I would try to bring into it. That aggression, that hate, that anger, that it comes off and it just grabs you by the fucking nuts. Centurion was the second in line. It was always first. Deicide, then Centurion. One that sounds pretty aggressive and angry. Definitely not as much as Deicide and Centurion, but it's got some serious oomph to it. Again, don't sleep on it, is that Divine Empire, Redemption, specifically that first album. Got some LPs left on Hell too, goddammit. That's why albums like I've even said it, dude, Deicide, Centurion, Divine Empire, shit like that to me represents toughness. Just you got sack. You're into you're not offended by what people say. You have you just think for yourself. I mean, especially if you follow it lyrically and shit. I don't know. That's what appealed to me as a youth, and it translated, I guess, into my personality. And it's kind of funny that people you see, yeah, I'm into black metal, and they're like, I'm listening to White Pain and this artsy fartsy black metal. They got their hipster glasses on and their fucking skinny goddamn jeans on and sipping on their Starbucks. They got their hair tied up in a little bow, fucking man bun. It's just like, not that there's anything wrong with them, not that I don't like those people. It's just, but it's a bunch of fucking pussies. Of course you don't like Deicide. Of course you don't like Centurion. Hey, yeah, in high school you got stuffed in the goddamn garbage pile by somebody like the Dawg, somebody with some fucking cojones, some goddamn sack. It just makes sense. And I'm just like, oh, yeah. But I automatically assumed as a boy, you liked metal? Deicide's a fucking given. Like, what are we even talking about, brah? Other than that, I mean, a little bit of Christian, but I don't consider that too hateful. You hear some anger, specifically on Apocalyptic Revelations, but not to the degree of those first three. Not anger and hatred. That doesn't mean it's better either. It just, you asked anger and hatred of what I feel. For example, the almighty TISH. Nobody's heavier than the TISH, but do I consider the TISH angry or hateful sounding? No, never. I just heavy and brutal, brah. Heavy, yeah, heaviest goddamn band of the universe. Big Willie's got the best lows of lows, and yeah, I consider them that. A little bit, so yeah. Impiety, Skull fucking Armageddon. That's another fucking album for men. definitely some cojones on it. Honestly, I gotta say too that Infernal War. Um, gotta say though, I since I became a recent fan, I am a fan, fanatical. I think that shit's fucking phenomenal. I primarily been spinning the most. Got to get spin up more the redesecration album, but the ones I've been trying to drill in my head, is the Terrafront album and the Axiom. God damn, those are good. Camp 22, is that what it's called? That's fucking great. Uh, that definitely has some fucking it has some fucking oomph to it, some anger to where you feel like these guys are kind of pissed off sounding. I will say this though, I YouTubed it and yeah, Dawg was a little lit down on the fucking image because on the albums, at least the CDs that I picked up, there's no band photos, so I didn't know what the fucking guys looked like. But I YouTube some live shit to see how they are. I'm like, I wonder how these homeboys are like live, especially those drums. I'm like, God damn, that's some serious fucking blast. So I was curious to see what it translates to live. They don't look bad. Like they got the black clothes. A couple of guys got bullet belts. They just, and I'm not saying this is the case. They may be the coolest guys in the world. I would like to see them. So hopefully they come to the U.S. Personally, I'll probably never make that happen. It's probably Paul Dunsky over at Metal Threat. Seems like a band that he would like and that he could get, especially since he got banned like Witchmaster this past one. So if he can, so to Paul, if he can get Infernal War, that'd be badass motherfucker. So I'd like to meet the guys, photo, fucking interview, everything. So I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying when I'm looking at it, just them looking at just like it reminded me of guys here in the U.S. that are like, lack of better description, kind of football tough guys that listen to metal on the side. But again, they didn't look douchey. They had sports jerseys on their caps, but just facially and shit. Again, it could be just wrong impression. Most people look at my face and see me and think I'm the biggest fucking dickhead ever, and it's just like, oh, you're actually pretty friendly when I'm talking. It's like, yeah, so it's like that old saying, resting bitch face. They could just have that. It's just me looking. I'm like, I don't know. They just look like douchebag football fucking jerks that are into black metal. That's just what it looked like. Not saying that's the goddamn case. So it was a little disappointing. I was hoping to see a little bit more corpse paint, long hair, shit like that. Not so much the butch fucking Raiders look. So slightly disappointed by that, but nonetheless, uh, I thought that shit fucking great. But pinch them, they've got that fucking anger and hatred. Honestly, a little bit too is which were the last two I liked. A little bit's in there, but only specifically on the two Behemoth albums, Satanica and Thelema Point Six. Especially in Nergal's vocal delivery, it just seemed to have some anger to it. The Pandemonic Incantations and the Savanth album, the black metal shit. I love that stuff. That just seems like just good ass black metal. Zoyas Kaya Cultus, that's the last one I listened to. I'm like, I kind of like it, but at the same time, it's funny. I was like, why are they trying to sound like Gateway's album by Morbid Angel? And ironically enough, I kind of like that album, but I kind of don't. It's like there's sometimes I want to I want to listen to it. I remember it's got some jamming parts and it does, but then every time I'm listening, I'm get fucking bored by track 4. There's always Kaya, same thing, and I thought that, but that's the last one I'll listen to. People are like, what about the Satanists and shit? The Apostasy. I never even listened to any of that shit, man. It made people have told me, gotta check out the Satanists. It's great. I'm like, is it better than Satanica? Because that's fucking phenomenal. And again, I kind of like they're just going all these different directions, and it was really commercialized. I mean, not that. I mean, Thelema Point Six and shit. It is a very commercial sounding recording as well. But again, it's got that goddamn toughness to it. So I don't know. I just I did see them live on the when they opened up for a Cannibal Corpse Skeletal Domain tour. So what was that 2014, 2016? And all the songs they played, I'm like, they look cool, almost like that little bit of overly ridiculous image, which people would argue at the Dark Funeral too. Which like I don't know if that makes them a Slipknot of black metal, but I get it. Like the pads and shit, it's probably a little excessive, almost like you're trying hard. I got that vibe from a Behemoth too. They look cool, but it's almost like it's a little too much because it looks like you're trying. But all the songs they played, I'm like, I think I recognized one song. I think maybe they did one thing from Satanica, maybe it was Pandemonic Incantations. I recognized one song. I'm like, rest this shit, I don't know what it is, and I was like, it's fine. But that was live, so that's what I would put in for fucking angry shit. Angry, hateful, whatever you want to describe, how you ask, violent. Next paid question. Trent Stewart. What's up, dog? I am from New Zealand. Fucking New Zealand all the way over there. And homeboy got the goddamn memo with the paid skis. And I grew up in a similar time to you. Oh, yeah? I was born in 83. Yep, you got 2 years on me, brah. And got into metal from a young age. Mm-hmm. I listened to a lot of death and black metal, but thought I knew more than I did about metal. I mean, at least you knew that much. You got that's what it is. You know, what's heavier than Pantera? They think they know like all the metal, the heavy shit. Dude, I know the fucking Knots, Static X, Limp Bizkit, bruh. Of course, the heaviest band in the universe, Pantera. Yeah, of course. Of course, I like the Metallica, Megadeth, bruh. Classic shit. Slayer. Oh yeah, bruh, Salt to Heaven, that's old school shit. You like Overkill? Don't know them, bro. Oh, man, see that fucking kick? God damn, fucking Ray Finkel kick. The Browns are killing me, man. Yeah, no. Overcool, never heard of them. Overkill, Canoe. Oh, yeah, no, bro, don't know that one. They heavier than Pantera. They sent him home on a stretcher, bro. You're more in the loop than that fucking idiot, at least. But yeah, there's some guys they think they know it all, heard it all. Again, guys that comment on this shit where they know death metal. I don't see kind of that other channel too, like talking about death metal, but it's like doesn't own Destroyer 666. It's kind of like the other channel who had a fucking shit fit about sadistic intent. It's like, I'm sorry, yeah, but you don't know who that is. It's kind of like, what? And then you almost get, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not even going to get into all that. It's just, bottom line is, doesn't mean you're a bad person. Doesn't mean you're not into this music. It just means you think you're more knowledgeable about the topic than you are. That's the way to put it. That's all. Nothing wrong with that. Just think you're more knowledgeable than you are. Fuck, they'll leave off on this. I'll listen to a lot of the more popular stuff like Fetus, Deicide, and Cannibal Corpse and Death. I'll listen to all those bands, and honestly, that's my early roots. You got to start somewhere, dude. You're not going to come out and be like, fuck yeah, I just got into this. God damn, I got that Necrovore demo. Man, that Malfader 1987 demo. Fuck yeah. Like, you're not going to start there. You ease into that shit. Um, as well as a lot of second wave black metal stuff. Mayhem Immortal. Is that second wave? I mean, I guess it's second wave if you're comparing it to Bathory, Mayhem, etc. Then, yeah, I mean, I guess so. I gravitated to black metal and stopped listening to death metal as much. Watching your channel really makes me feel like I'm missing out. You sure are, bro. There's no reason to. True metal is true metal, and it's like that's why I've been asked before at times, like by non-metalists, of course. Don't you get burnt out on listening to the same shit and stuff? I was like, no, not fucking really. And the reason being is because I like a very like my parents or something would think stupid shit like that. Like but you just like the same stuff. It all sounds the same. I'm like, dude, that's why I like. That's why I have this argument Dawn of the Dead and shit like that. That's why I don't need other albums and fanaticals unless you're just going to listen to something casually on YouTube because I'm a casual listener, not a fanatical. I don't need other styles of music. Why? Because when you got the actual real metal, dude, you got the fucking from Cannibal, death metal, Cannibal to fucking, then you can go to Marduk. Then you can go to even keyboard stuff, Cradle of Filth, Dave Muborger. Then you can go to old school stuff like Venom, Motorhead. You could go to goddamn Priest, Iron Maiden, Ozzy. Could throw on Sinister then, and then throw on fucking Christian. I'm gonna throw on some fucking Deceased next. Next, that goddamn Destroyer 666. You see what I'm saying? Like, none of that shit sounds the same. There's all this stuff. Now, yeah, there's a ton of bands in the genre that's like, okay, this again? And that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's why a lot of stuff is like, I find myself, it's funny because we just got a batch in and went on today's update. And I'm more excited. Most of them I already own or it's on a release he did. That label Extreme Music. I like how he's keeping a lot of stuff alive. That's another guy I want to get an interview at Maryland Death Fest. Dave Rotten, goddamn of all Extreme Music. If you see this fucking shit, want to do an interview, hit me up, brah. His label's great. Evolves is great. But he's doing all those like the demos and stuff on 10 inches and CDs. Like, he did Massacre, Revenant, Baphomet, Dissect, all that shit. And I like seeing that stuff come out. And a few of those bands, like for example, the Dissect. I'm like, oh, he did a CD with just the demo on it. Will I pick it up? Probably not, because it's like I have he did a double disc like 10 years ago now, I guess, something like that. And it's got the album and all the demos. So it's like I have it. But I like seeing that shit come out. It's awesome. It's like, And those bands, that's how I found out about Dissect. I've seen the name and thanks list and shit, but I didn't own anything by them. The Swallowing Swarming Mass is fucking great. A great early 90s death metal. And the demos are great too. I'm glad they quit though, because the last recording on there is like a 96 demo or something. It's the last recording. He just put it on there to fill the discography. It fucking sucks ass. It's on disc 2, the very last shit. It's like 4 songs. It's like, you can tell they're pulling a goddamn Amorphous. They're pulling a goddamn Carcass. They're pulling a goddamn Gorefest. Commercializing it up, pulling a Desultory. Swallow the fucking dick. But I like seeing that shit coming out, and I'm more gravitated, like more interested to listen to those types of bands when I see that shit come out. Of the ones I haven't heard, then it's like a new band. I'm like, okay, automatically a new band's like, who do they sound like? That's the first thing, because they already sound like somebody. Now there's bands that do it right. They're like, they have really good songs. Again, and I've said it a million fucking times. Is like a band like death metal wise. I think as far as just straight death metal, I think in the last 5 years, probably the best straight death metal band is probably Molder. If you're like, oh, some people like love them, and some people like, what's so great about them? Because the songs were memorable and catchy. Like that, some people like, they're like a death thrash band. I'm like, nah. You're getting the formula messed up, dumbass. It ain't thrash. It's because those are actual catchy riffs. By that definition, you could say first Cannibal Corpse, Eaten Back to Life is death thrash. It's thrash. Deicide is thrash. Why? Because it actually has memorable, catchy riffs and not this monotonous bullshit. Not to throw anybody under the bus, scenes-wise, but that's why I wasn't a huge fan. The bands I liked, Chill the Fuck Out. But in the early 90s, Finland, I wasn't a huge fan of it because it was more the drony. Yeah, I understand they were going for more of a dark sound, and they did capture that, but a lot of it was just boring. I was like, there's nothing catchy or memorable, or there's no goddamn riff fucking banging mania on it. It's just monotonous fucking boredom for the most part. Not that there is exceptions. For example, Amorphous, Tales from a Thousand Legs Down, Privilege of Evil, and all that shit. That shit's fucking great. There's exceptions, but a lot of them just like, it's just kind of fucking boring. And a lot of it, the bands sounded the same. I'm like, okay, it's borderline death doom, all the finished shit of that time frame. That's why I only liked a handful of it. Well, the bands that had their own character, it was fucking great. So, it's new bands. I don't want to come off as like, I don't check anything out. There's good ones, but again, like I loved, speaking of Molder, then the side project, Melting Rot, as far as gore grind, I thought best gore grind ever. They've come out in the last 5 years easily. Is Pharmacist, Miasmatic Necrosis, and Melting Rock. Easily. So there's good new shit, but a lot of times it's just like this again, and then it doesn't have standout songs. Now, again, like a band like Molder, yeah, you can tell, okay, the vocals sound like Asphyx, Pestilence, so it wasn't totally original in that sense, but I'm like, but it had good, memorable songs that you're like, they were easy to get into. You're tapping your foot, you're banging your head, you're fucking air guitar, and you're like, oh shit, and it was memorable first listen. So that's why it was good, as opposed to some of this shit, it's background, you're like, oh, we're listening to somebody, you're daydreaming, you're not even fucking paying attention. It's like, okay, yeah, I've heard this a million times. This sounds like another whatever. So that was that. So I find myself going more interested just listening to the older shit that I missed out on. So where the fuck did I leave? Going back to listen to a lot more underground death. It's awesome. So thank you. No problem there, brah. Glad to inspire you. My question is, have you ever heard any metal from New Zealand? Do I like any bands from New Zealand? Not, shit. I can't think of anybody. There might be an underground band like, oh, I got this demo, or I picked up this one release and I didn't realize, like, where are they from, Dawg? And it's like, oh, yeah, I guess I never thought about it. Where are they from? There's probably that. It can't be many, though. We don't have a lot of bands, I'd imagine. But some I would recommend are Ulcerate. We've had them in stock. Winter Deluge, I recognize, an Exordium Moors. I've seen all that. To be honest with you, we've carried it. I've seen it. I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't listen to any of it. It looked like kind of the guy I described earlier with the fucking skinny jeans on and shit like that type of metal, who's not listening to the goddamn Repulsion. I expected to be fans of that. Could be wrong. That's just the image I had in my head. Didn't hear it, but I dismissed it. Let me know. Am I missing out? I wasn't. The way you said I inspired you to listen to more death metal. Go back to it. I looked at that shit and I see it says day. I'm just not inspired to listen to it. I'm just like, I just don't even want to put this on. Now, somebody told me, Dawg, it kicks ass, dude. It's like fucking better than Altars of Madness, bro. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to put this on. Cool. But just looking at it, judging a book by its cover, seeing it, I'm just like, I mean, I have no interest in putting it on. So if that's your best goddamn benchmark over there, whew, times are tough over there. We also have an older underground band called Backyard Burial. Not familiar with them, but goddamn, much better name. It sounds a little more interesting. They were inspired by Mortician. I hope not a goddamn another Mortician clone, man. I gotta be honest, the last 5 years too, it's cool and it's fun hearing these Mortician worship bands where it's like sounds like Mortician, sounds like there's this band Horrified from Mexico. Somebody sent me in the notes section of orders. I think 2 people said it. I listened to it. Yeah, it sounds just like Mortician. But again, it sounds just like Mortician. My favorite that I did like was Massacred from Argentina. And I only listened to the album on YouTube, but I had the demo disc. I forget what it was that came in. And I compared to I mean, I liked it all. Thought that was cool. But I liked the demos the best. And between them and Horrified and the others, I'm like, I don't need 20 bands that literally sound exactly like Mortician. It's cool. I wouldn't shut it off. Hey, so and so is coming to town. By the way, the opener is Horrified from Mexico. It's cool because it's good background music while you're there at the show, rather than this some fucking goddamn these bozos can't get off the stage any sooner. But it's like, do I need to go buy a record of something that sounds exactly like Mortician? Which again, let's call it like it the fuck is, was a one-trick pony as is, and it's not exactly the most, I don't want to say memorable, but digestible music to where it's like you're going to walk in and identify a song like that. Yes, you can for some, like I can, like for Necro Cannibal or Zombie Apocalypse or title track Hacked Up for Barbecue, things like that. I mean, there's songs you can, but you're going to be able to run it like walking like this is Blown to Pieces, or which maybe you could for some, or this is Worms. Your favorites you're going to be able to, but bottom line is you're not going to be able to do that for 80% of their catalog. Um, but every time I put their stuff on, I listen to it. Yes, I remember how it goes, but am I going to be able to identify it by name, etc.? Plus, they have a lot of songs. No. Having said that, do I need 5 other bands on top of that? No. But yes, it's an enjoyable listen. But do I need it or buy it? No. That's kind of where my stand. So another Backyard Burial sounds cool, but another if it just sounds like ripping off the Tish. Yeah, I'll listen to it, but do I really need it? Unless their songs were just so fucking stand out that it's like, dude, it's better than goddamn title track Zombie Apocalypse. Every song. Well, it's like, okay, well then, yeah, that I would buy because that'd be quite an accomplishment in my opinion. So thanks for inspiring me to revisit my death metal roots. That's what I'm there for, brah. So we'll cut it off goddamn there. Next goddamn page to ruin. You got to wait till goddamn tomorrow. And people are asking too, so yeah, I guess I'll put that as my ending fucking videos. Fucking if you want your question guaranteed fucking answer, the email is in the description box. PayPal to that goddamn email, and if it's a long goddamn question word, that's fine. Just email me as a separate, send me a separate email. Type it in there, and copy and paste it, and then type the email and send it to me. Boom, I'll get you messages. You got payment from so and so, Alex Miller or whatever, and then here's the goddamn question. Some people might complicate. How do I get in touch with the dog? How do I? It's on every video, man. The description page. So do that. And again, the pussy boys that are wanting to cry at questions, just sit back and watch the free material. Brah, shut your bitch ass up. Later, goddammit.